LeBron Ramon James. In many ways, he's proved himself to be the standard of excellence and consistency within the NBA, and in the eyes of some people, he's the greatest basketball player to ever live. So here's the thing. Over 3 years ago, I made a video on this exact topic about LeBron James, breaking down whether or not he's the best ever at his age, which was 35 years old and in his 17th season in the league. My conclusion to that question was that it was ultimately pretty debatable at best. But now, 3 years have passed. LeBron recently wrapped up his 20th season in the NBA at the age of 38. So the question now becomes, was he the best ever at year 20 and at age 38? And how good will he have to be in order to be the best at age 39 and year 21? Well, I'll do my best to answer that as we compare the most long-lasting veteran players in NBA history. First off, let's ask the question if LeBron was the greatest player in his 20th season. In the history of the NBA, a grand total of 10 players have played 20 seasons in the league, and these are the players listed on the screen. Out of these 10 players, only 5 of them played at least 50 games throughout the regular season, and they were LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, Dirk Nowitzki, Vince Carter, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Only 3 out of these 10 players were selected as NBA All-Stars, and that was LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, and Dirk Nowitzki. Only one of these players earned an All-NBA team selection, and that was LeBron James. Only one of these players averaged at least 25 points per game, and that was LeBron James. Only one of them averaged at least 20, and that was also LeBron. Only 2 players averaged at least 15 points, and they were LeBron and Kobe. Only one player shot at least 50% from the field over the course of the season, and that was LeBron James as well. As you can clearly tell by that quick summary, LeBron is completely in a class of his own for players in their 20th season. These were the numbers that he put up over the course of that 20th year, and the player who's likely the closest to him is Kobe Bryant, who averaged far less in pretty much every major category while not being nearly as efficient. In conclusion, without question, LeBron was the greatest 20th season player of all time. But here's the thing. Some of you might say that this isn't necessarily a fair comparison, because LeBron was drafted straight out of high school, which means he got an earlier start to his NBA career, which also means that he's significantly younger than most 20th season players, with the exceptions being Kobe Bryant and Kevin Garnett, who were also drafted straight from high school. So in the spirit of comparative integrity, let's also look at his actual age and see how that stacks up against other greats at that same age. At the beginning of last season, LeBron was 37 years old, and he had his 38th birthday during the season. And that context is extremely important for the comparison. Some people will want to compare LeBron's most recent season to Michael Jordan's first season with the Washington Wizards, since they were both 38 years old at one point during the season. But that's simply a bad faith argument, because LeBron started last season at the age of 37 and it ended at the age of 38, while Michael Jordan's first season in Washington started at the age of 38 and it ended at the age of 39. So that specific comparison will have to wait until LeBron has played in this upcoming season. And trust me, I will make a video on that comparison eventually. Not because I have a dog in the fight, but simply because I like money. So with that being clarified, let's compare LeBron at the age of 38 to the other competitors at the same age. Many of the greatest players of all time didn't play in the NBA until the age of 38. Players like Kobe Bryant, Wilt Chamberlain, Bill Russell, Larry Bird, and Magic Johnson all retired before they reached their 38th birthday, while players like Shaquille O'Neal and Hakeem Olajuwon were just playing as a shell of their former selves. Without question, the greatest seasons from players at this age come from the mailman Karl Malone, the captain Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and the big fundamental Tim Duncan. Let's start things off with Duncan. It was the 2013 to 2014 season, and Duncan helped lead his Spurs to a very successful regular season, while putting up about 15 points, 10 rebounds, and 2 blocks on 49% shooting from the field. he did play in 74 of the 82 regular season games, while being a consistently effective presence defensively. Duncan did also play a significant role in the Spurs ultimately winning the NBA championship that season over LeBron and the Miami Heat. Now compare that 38-year-old season to LeBron, and you'll see that James destroys Duncan from the perspective of statistical production in the regular season. With that being said, I would give Duncan the edge defensively. The big fundamental did play in more games, and his team did eventually win the championship, unlike LeBron's Lakers. Even with all that being said, LeBron's edge in production is the kind of gap between an MVP candidate and a second option player. Therefore, I gotta give the overall edge to James at this age. Now let's look at Karl Malone. The Utah power forward put in an all-star effort in the 2001 to 2002 season, while leading his Jazz to an 8th-seeded playoff berth. And in that time, he put up averages of 22 points, 8.5 rebounds, and 4 assists on 45% shooting. Again, LeBron loses in the aspect of regular season games played. But when looking at the level of production while they were on the court, it's not really that close. Even if you adjust for the statistical inflation of the different eras, LeBron would still easily keep his edge in overall production. Therefore, I'm ranking him ahead of Karl Malone as well. Lastly, let's take a look at Kareem Abdul-Jabbar at the age of 38. It was the 1984-85 season, and he started in 79 regular season games as his Lakers secured the #1 seed in the Western Conference. On the year, Kareem put up 22 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 assists on 60% shooting from the field. Once again, LeBron has a significant edge in terms of regular season production, but Kareem still has plenty of ammunition in this argument. In the 1985 playoffs, the Lakers went on a championship run through the postseason, with Kareem being the team's leading scorer throughout. And in the NBA Finals specifically, the captain averaged about 26 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, and 1.5 blocks on 60% shooting. Without Kareem's clutch performance on the game's biggest stage, the Lakers likely don't defeat the Boston Celtics to win the NBA championship. Because of his greatness in the finals, he was rewarded with the Finals MVP, making him easily the oldest Finals MVP in NBA history. So in conclusion, LeBron was the greatest player in his 20th season, but he was not the greatest player ever at the age of 38, as Kareem naturally takes my top spot thanks to his postseason dominance. So now that we've addressed LeBron's standing based on what he did last season, what does he have to do this upcoming season in order to be the greatest at season 21 and at age 39? Well, especially in the case of season 21, the bar is set very, very low for LeBron James. Only 5 players in NBA history have played 21 seasons in the league, and LeBron will become the 6th. Of those 5 players, none of them earned an All-NBA selection. Dirk Nowitzki was the only player who was an NBA All-Star, but that was more like a Lifetime Achievement Award rather than an actual indicator of his performance. And none of those 5 players averaged at least 8 points per game. So basically, unless LeBron has a major injury in the preseason, or the greatest season-to-season decline in NBA history, he'll easily become the greatest player ever at season 21. On the other hand, the best player at age 39 is a little more competitive, but still very attainable. He'll have to do better than Jordan's first season in Washington, which was initially quite impressive, as Jordan appeared to be leading his team to the playoffs and was just starting to earn his way into the MVP conversation. But once MJ tore his meniscus nearly 50 games into the regular season, Jordan's production fell off, and they eventually had to shut him down for the season. Karl Malone once again is in the mix, as he played 81 games at the age of 39, and averaged about 20 points, 8 rebounds, and 5 assists on 46% shooting. Kareem is once again in the picture as well, as he played 79 games and put up about 23 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists on 56% shooting. Ultimately, if LeBron can stay relatively healthy in this upcoming basketball season, I assume he'll be the greatest ever at year 21 and at the age of 39, but that still remains to be seen. So what do you guys think? Is LeBron the greatest at his age, and is he simply the greatest player of all time? I look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comments section below. Thanks for watching as always, make sure to like and subscribe for more basketball content, and I'll see you guys in the next video.